Hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to the next episode of DevChatter. Today is Thursday, May 3rd, so may the 3rd be with you everyone. Oh wait, that's tomorrow. Anyway, hopefully everybody's having a pretty good day. We are here to do a little bit more C# coding, continuing on with some of the projects that we have been working on. My plan for today is to continue on our C# chatbot that we've been developing here in DevChatter. And anybody that is here frequently probably notices that we have fewer pull requests in here. And the reason is that I merged a couple of our pull requests that had been lingering. One of those was our heist game. Welcome, Async Awake. And everybody else who's in chat, I'm sure everybody will be slowly coming in here as we get started. And for anybody that doesn't know, that's why I usually do this little intro to delay a little bit, because it takes people usually a handful of minutes before they get their notifications about the stream starting, and people start wandering over. So, hey, Ajanusku, hey, Async Awake. Welcome everybody, and anybody that's lurking in chat, welcome. There is no need to talk, although we appreciate it if you do, because it's more fun when we chat about code together. Arid Tag, welcome. Okay, so as part of our intro here, well, first I'm going to hop into the rock, paper, scissors game, but then second, I want to make sure that I let everybody know, as you can see up on the screen here, all the code that we work on this stream is out on GitHub. So github.com/devchatter, and I just posted it in chat, which you can see over there on the side of the screen. And anybody that wants to keep discussing with us outside of the stream can check out our Discord. Discord is a chat application that's commonly used for gaming. So it lets you make calls and have text chats and things like that. We don't have any voice chats currently turned on in our Discord, but there are a number of places that you can go in there and discuss code with fellow DevChatter people. Alright, so, the one last little housekeeping thing that I don't think I mentioned. My name is Brendan. I'm Brendonius, so if you know me on Twitter or anything like that, that's normally how you'd find me. Yeah, so let's go ahead and jump in. So the first thing I want to do is, for anybody that is wondering, if you do want to contribute to our project, you can go to the DevChatterbot issues page. And if you filter down to good first issues, we usually have a couple of issues that are good starting points for like someone to make their first contribution to a project. So that's essentially what these are. So if you filter down by clicking on labels and choosing that, that's a good set to get you started. But I'm going to filter down to the ones that say on stream. And the reason I'm going to do that is because I want to get to the items that how to say this that we've either started on stream or that we're planning on doing on stream. So people can do the ones that are marked as on stream, but be warned that I might override you and still do it because we probably started it on stream. So just a heads up if you do want to work on one of those ones. That's what that label means. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look. I believe we have a TwitchLib upgrade already, so I think that is a good one to start on. I don't think that we have any of the TwitchLib maintainers in our chat right now, although I expect that at least one of the maintainers of that open source library will show up, because they usually do. So if they do, we'll see. Alright, so this should now be on the TwitchLib upgrade branch, and I don't remember exactly how far I got with the upgrade when we started it on Tuesday, but we started the TwitchLib upgrade on Tuesday, and I wanna take a look at it and see how much further along we need to go. So this is gonna error out because the bot itself, you'll see it's right here, is actually running the same code that we're running in Visual Studio. So okay, so you'll notice that the errors it gave are that it can't copy files. That's just because the bot is running, and so it can't copy over the files the bot is currently using. But nothing else about it is failing right now. So since I don't remember how far along we really were, and it looks like the rock, paper, scissors game that was being played has ended, I'm going to try running this and see what blows up, because I'm certain something's going to blow up. Because we just kind of hooked up the new one, and we're like, yeah, we're going to hook it up, see what happens. So, if something blows up here, then I will switch over to debug mode, and we'll take a look and see if we can figure out what that problem is. So most of the time when I'm debugging stuff, okay, so see, it did blow up. So most of the time when I'm trying to debug stuff, I like to just run it without debug mode turned on first, because it gets started a little bit faster, and if there's not a problem, it gets you through it. And then if there is, it's pretty easy to just spin it up again in debug mode. So let's see where we're erroring out. Probably something in our initialization. Oh man, I went invisible. Ooh, look guys. Ooh, I'm a ghost. I was messing with my chroma key settings. So what you guys don't know is I use natural light here to light me. There's a window in front of me. And so I messed with my settings a little bit, and that's probably why I became invisible. I should fix that. Okay, so one or more. Oh, hey, look, hey guys, look. It's the error. We're getting an error. The API answer for the. That's weird. API 504 gateway timeout. Yeah, see, we got a retry exception, so that means that it really did retry that number of times and still failed. So I'm betting that we wired up our API wrong. That's my guess. So let's take a look at where we built the API, and the way I'm going to do that is by hopping back here. Wait, what? Oh, no. That's the Twitch API. I don't want to do that one. I want to go find the usages of this thing. So let's go and Twitch chat client is created here as implemented interfaces single thing. Okay, so new Twitch API right here. And then settings, resolve settings, blah, 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 client ID, access token. Yeah, see, I made a little note. I said need to verify this. I'm not 100% that that's the right piece there. So that might not be the right one. So I am going to go look up the TwitchLib API. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and open this. We're going to say TwitchLib. And then we're going to look at the main TwitchLib project, take a look at its README. And settings, access token, yep, there it is. There we go, TwitchLib API, okay. Please know that failure to provide at least a client ID and sometimes an access token will result in exceptions. Okay, yeah, but where is that? Hello, Paula Bean. So we're gonna say Twitch API access token. Hey, that's funny. It started guessing. We are currently updating to a newer version of TwitchLib, which is the library that we are using to make our connection to, see, OAuth access token. Authenticate users and allow them. I'm going to try running this again. So it seems like what's happening is, yeah, there it goes, bombing again. Alright, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to jump over to the Twitch chat client. We're going to turn off the call that's throwing the exception and see if that just makes something else throw the exception. So return new list and that. Yeah, exactly. It is definitely rage-inducing when stuff doesn't just work. So we're just going to do that for now. The auth URL is id.twitch. And 1 second, Janiscu and I will read what you are talking about. The auth URL is id. Wait. You're saying like id.twitch.tv, like that? Or you mean like using the client ID? Let me take a look. Okay. Alright, there we go. So, Erica, your client ID was invalid or not set. Your refresh token was invalid. Okay, so hang on. So, Twitch API. Hang on a second, everybody. I want to toss this up. Just in case, I'm tossing the no peeking screen up, because I don't want, like, this thing to show my clear text auth token, because that would be a bad idea. You know what I mean? I think you guys know what I mean. Access token. There's my OAuth token. There's my client ID. Yep, see? Glad I didn't pull that up with, glad I brought the no peeking screen up. That was a good idea, because it showed it in clear text there when I looked at it. Paula Bean, you're not seeing my no... You guys are seeing my no peeking screen, right? Don't give me that. Yeah. Trying to freak me out. That's a no peeking screen. Hey, Wheelspin. Yeah. There's a no peeking screen. Don't give me that. Don't give me that. I can see the no peeking screen. You requested a username when the server was you used a username when the server was expecting a user ID. No. I used to. Your refresh token was invalid. Your client ID was invalid. Huh. Well. Well, in that case, I'm gonna hang off on this and instead come back to this one later. So let's go back to the coding screen. So welcome back, everybody. How's it going? Hope everybody's having a good day. I'm here again. No more no peeking screen. Oh yeah, async awake. That would be really cool. Is the cat there? Yep, the cat's sleeping on my chair. So I stand up, the cat sleeps on the chair. That's how things work. Welcome, Twitchloff. Welcome everybody that's showing up here. I am going to hop off of this branch for now. We're not going to work on that one at the moment, and the reason we're not going to work on this one at the moment is because it's not working all that well. I don't want to go digging around into why the TwitchLib upgrade isn't working just yet. We're going to do that one off stream, just because I think there's going to be enough stuff where I have to mess around with auth tokens and things like that. Will be on the no peeking screen longer than I'd like, and so to avoid that, yeah, so Paula Bean, all my keys and everything like that are actually in a user secrets file, which is something that is built into .NET Core now, the concept of a user secrets file. So I can open up my config file right here and show you what's in it. And you'll notice it just says secret, right? And so like for all the, relevant like auth stuff, it's right here. And then that just means that all this data is over in the user secrets file, not here. So nothing in here do I mind anybody seeing. So that is a nice little feature that is in .NET Core, is that it'll let you move all that stuff over into another file. So we don't have to use an environment variable. The challenge with this is that even if I stored those settings in an environment variable, it still would have shown up in, like at runtime, as settings values on those properties. And actually, while I'm doing this and talking with you guys, you'll notice I'm ghost-like. I don't want to be ghost-like, that's weird, so I am going to change that to that. We'll see if I can become less ghost-like. I'm a little less ghosty, hang on. How's that? Am I less of a ghost now? Yeah, I'm a little bit less of a ghost. There we go. Alright. Not perfect, but a little bit better. The underscore all commands list in the add and delete commands operation. What is it supposed to do and does it work? Twitchloff, yes, it should work. I will go ahead and bring up that code and we can talk about it. Okay. So you said the commands command one in the add and delete commands operations. Okay. Add command operation, delete command operation. So these values, so this is a reference to a collection. Just to clarify here, this is a reference to, I should say a reference to an object that implements the ilist of ibot command interface. So wherever this gets created, that's the collection that we're looking at. So for example, if we look in the commands command, you'll see that it passes in a list of commands. So you'll see that this list of commands is here also. So this is the same collection because it's passed by reference into these. So then when we use this, Control-Shift-F7, there we go. And we look down here, you'll see that all commands, we grab the item, and then we actually remove it from that collection. Now because we have a reference to the exact same collection, it's actually going to perform this with a side effect and actually remove that from the list. So yeah, Twitchloff, it's not copied. This is actually a reference to it, which is how that works. So it's actually very cool. So let's get rid of that. And then in the commands command, what do we do it? So the only reason it's in here is just so that we can print out a list of the commands, and we just say can user run command and make that adjustment. Okay, so let's do a little bit of housekeeping while we're in here. So, and by that I mean let's do a little bit of code cleanup. Code improvements. We're going to do a code improvements branch. We're going to push that up to GitHub, and here is what we're going to do, because that made me think about a couple of things that we need to adjust. So, over here in our chat user, we have a can user run command that takes in a command and tells us whether or not they can run it. And we also have this can user run command that takes in a role. But really what we should call this one is something along the lines of is user at least this role. Is user this role or higher? There's a name for it. Is user this role or higher? Role. Okay. Whoops. It got both. I don't want you to get both. Just get this one. Do not rename overloads. Is user this role or higher? Can user run command? Is user this role or higher? There we go. Okay. So I wanted to change that because I think it makes more sense this way. And I'll go back and fix these bugs in a second. Let me just read what's in chat here. So even in the debugger, these API key variables show up as secret. Paula Bean, no, actually they don't. That's the problem. That's why I had to put my no peeking screen up. Now, if they had a way of actually hiding it when I was in there, that would be awesome. And to answer your question about am I happy with Git, I will say yes. I've been very happy with Git. I've been using it pretty much since I switched over from Mercurial, which, man, that would have been a lot of years ago at this point. I am very happy with that. We don't want this to be we want can user run command here. And then what about this one? Can user run command. Okay, so my undo didn't apparently didn't undo all of them quite enough when I did my Control Z. So yeah, I'm very happy with Git and GitHub. They do things that I am quite happy with. Yeah, exactly. So, Paula, I had used Subversion, I've used TFS, I've used SourceSafe, I've used Mercurial, I've used a lot of different source control solutions. And actually, I had switched back to Subversion before I switched to Git, before I switched to Mercurial, before I switched to Git. I like the fact that I can just branch whenever I want about whatever thing I want. I want to try something, I just make a branch. I make a branch off my branch. Like, I'm like, oh, I want to make sure this doesn't break things. Okay, make a branch first, try it. And then if you screw it up, just nuke that branch and go right back to where you were. So it's very nice. Git really is, saving us all kinds of stuff. And I just realized I did not mute my phone, so we'll make sure you guys don't have to listen to my phone notify about different stuff. Hang on. Okay. So, we got that changed. That was a nice little rename fix. I'm going to check through these. So, I like this a Git desktop program that we use also. So this is actually what we use on stream, and I think it is quite good for this. Rename the rename can user run command. Actually, that's on user. So and you're welcome. I managed to get the mute button before I sneezed, so you guys didn't have to listen to that. I was actually really impressive on my part. It's a good thing I've got the Stream Deck here. All right. So what I just realized is we've got like user.canUserRun command, when I actually think that we can simplify that to just user.canRun command. And then this other one is we are going to remove the word user from that too. Is this role or higher? Or is in this role or higher? So we're going to say is in this role or higher. There we go. That I think makes a lot of sense. Yeah. I shook the webcam. I sneezed so hard. So I was actually worried earlier before the stream started because it was a really big thunderstorm that was going, and I was like, please don't knock out the power or something ridiculous like that right before I'm going to stream, because that would be the worst. So let me just review this again, just make sure that these are the only changes. Those all look good, so we're going to go ahead and commit that. So that's a nice little bit of cleanup there. I like that one. And Yep, the bot is in here. Rawr. Okay, so we got a chat user there, we got this. Couple of other things that we want to do. And I actually want to do this. I want to say e.chatUser dot So we're going to go ahead and say, I'm going to put that in there. So basically what this is, I want to make this adjustment so that mods don't get blocked by our cooldown protection. Twitchloff, awesome. You made some unit tests. Looking forward to seeing that. And I do believe we just had a group of C# Fritz people show up here. I'm actually kind of surprised I didn't have an alert from that one. But welcome everybody on a C# Fritz's stream. Hopefully you guys are ready for some more C# code, and because that is what we're going to be working on here today. We've got C# and .NET Core, and we are working on our bot. We are currently going through and doing some housekeeping stuff, that like some cleanup, looking at code, reviewing our architecture on things, and trying to make code better, because we generally like to make code better here. So, and hopefully you do also. Fritz, if you're here, I would love to know how your stream was. Twitch, C# Fritz. There are a lot of ways to make your code better. Paula Bean. Also, your name is hilarious. I don't know if I mentioned that. I like it. Okay. So, what I want to do for this is I'm going to go ahead and pull up our task list, see what to-dos we've got sitting around. Looks like we only have 4, so that's not bad. Make this test work somehow. I think I remember that one. We were on stream and the test just wasn't... There was something really weird going on. Okay, replace with a better structure that doesn't require making the object. Okay, make this test work somehow. Alright. And only do this in development. Okay, yep, that's fine. And then prevent overflow. That's a funny one. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and take a look at this, see what we can modify here. We want to prevent overflow. So, better names are absolutely better code. If you improve the names of something, there's a reason naming is so difficult in programming. So, here is what we're going to do. Let's take a look at this. So add currency to that, and I'm actually not sure what's going to happen if we overflow this. If we int.max and int.max this thing, I guess we can test this. So let's go ahead and write a test. We'll see what happens when we try to overflow it, and we'll see if we can correct it. So let's go ahead and we're gonna write a test for this thing. This is the bonus command. So we're gonna go ahead and make a new folder, and in this folder we're gonna call it bonus command tests. And then in here we are going to go ahead and create a class that we are gonna call handle command should. Hey, Crimson Green, welcome. We want to make a fact, so we're going to do an xunit fact. We're going to do a public void test1, and then inside of test1, we are going to go ahead and say new handle command should, but not that. We want to do new bonus command. There we go. So we're going to make a new bonus command, and it needs a repository and a currency generator. So I am going to make a new mock of an I repository, and we're going to call that I'm going to say .object, and then we're going to say new mock of an I currency generator, and then we're going to say .object on that as well. Now I want to extract this as a variable. So this is our currency mock. And then this other one right here is going to be our repository mock. And let me know if I lose anybody here. Hopefully not. We're still in pretty simple code here. Bonus command dot... Oh, I can't call it because this is a protected method. But I can use the process should. So I'm going to call process on it instead. No, Twitchloff, I can't. Can't. The best code is code you don't have to write. Yes, Paulo Bean, it is. That's actually why. So I was. So we have a bunch of people over here from C# Fritz's stream, and that's actually why I was commenting when he was using when people were talking about using data annotations in his stream. I was trying to say that in EF Entity Framework, the ORM that he's using and we're also using here, it's like the main one that's built by Microsoft, so it's pretty common. But in Entity Framework, it will actually follow a set of conventions, and it will make an ID property with an integer type that's on your object automatically be the primary key, and it will also set it up to be an auto number, so you don't actually need those data annotations. Chat client. So we're gonna make a new mock of iChat client, and then this is just a new event args. There we go. Okay. I think that will be enough. Process should be void. Okay. Ah, see, yeah, Twitchloft figured it out. Okay. Event overflow. Okay, so we want to do this. So when I call process, it's going to call handle. So what I want to do, first off, actually, I'm just going to run this test and just make sure that nothing blows up. So, step 1, run the test, make sure it runs. And looks like it does. Okay, good. So, we weren't expecting it, we weren't doing anything, so we're just like, this works if we don't do anything, right? Okay, cool. So it does. Now the next thing that I want to check is that we don't overflow when we do this. So, let's look at the code. So, amount is, where did amount come from? Amount is from argument value 1. So that tells me that I need to set our arguments list equal to a new list of string with the values the first value I don't think matters just yet, but the second one will. So the second one is going to be our number here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to say int.maxValue.toString. So I'm going to put maxInt in here. So yeah, this is gonna get ugly. We're going to go ahead and extract that out as our command arguments. Just because we want this to be a little nicer. So we'll bring that up there, put an extra space in here. Once we do that, we want to, so we did an add currency to on our currency generator. Oh, actually, maybe the currency generator should prevent the overflow. That might be where we want to put it instead. So I'm actually going to back that out and adjust it. AMGDY, welcome, thanks for following. I'm not even going to guess on how you actually say that. But if you let me know, I will be able to say something on stream. and call you by a name that you like. If you just let me know what it is. Alright, so I want to modify this. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump over to the add currency to method of our currency generator. And our currency generator is inside of... why is it part of events still? Ugh. Alright, well, we'll keep it for now. So I'm going to make a new folder for currency generator tests. And then inside of here, I'm going to make a new class called add currency to should. We're going to make this a fact also. We're going to say public void handle integer overflow given max int. So, new currency generator. So we're going to make one of these. It's going to get a... Oh. A new list of chat clients. And a new chat user collection with a new mock repository in it. repo. There we go. And we're going to say .object. And there we go. So now I will make that a variable. And this needs to come out as a variable that's going to be called mock repo. And then I want to say currency generator dot add currency to. And was I doing single target for this command? I believe I was. New list of string bonus receiver. Oh, that's funny. It was a single one. But we like I could have done it to just one. And this one really does just call that one underneath the hood, but that's fine. At which point, I actually probably want to clean this up by just doing that, because why not let that happen behind the scenes if there is one? Okay, so add currency to that. We'll call this one, because that's fine for the test. Who wants to be immortalized? Twitchloff, you're the most recent person to say something in chat. Congratulations. And then number of tokens is going to be int.max value. So we are going to attempt to give Twitchloff max int coins and see what happens. So what does it do when we do this? Actually, let's nuke the old test that we're not using anymore. Oh, good, it failed. No ref. Perfect. That was great. It's exactly the kind of thing that we wanted to have happen here. Alright, let's jump over to it. For each chat user and users to update. So we called repository list and passed in a filter trying to get our chat user. So we were trying to find Twitchloff and that failed. So what we're going to do is this. We need to set up this call with our repository before we can actually make that. So we're going to go ahead and say mockrepo.setup, and in this we want to do an x.list, and we're going to say it.isAny I specification. So I'm not going to worry about what was called here, and it is of type chat user, I believe. And actually, I could say chat user policy, because it's going to be any chat user policy. Yeah, that's right, Janiscu. Crimson was in here. And he didn't kill anybody either. And we're going to say returns new... what am I expecting? Am I expecting a single one? Yeah, so we're going to have a list of chat user. Crimson is still in here. What? That's a lie. That's a lie. I would know if Crimson Green were watching my stream. Okay, so we're going to have new chat user. Do we need anything else about it? No. Because the update we're going to apply is just adding of the value. And so now we're going to go from 0 to max to int max, and there should be no problem. And the way I'm going to check that is by doing this. We're going to say chat user, and we're going to say chat user dot tokens should be int dot max value. So I just want to then verify that that value got should we're going to say handle values should allow going to max int given 0 start and max int bonus. Okay. Actually, let's say added, because it's not just for bonuses. So we're going to say allow going to a max int given 0 start and max int added. So we start at 0, we go up to max int. And I'm going to be explicit in setting those tokens to 0, and then we're going to go and run this, and it should green. As long as that greens, we're going to call that good. Green is good. Green is good. All right, so that works. Now let's go ahead and get ourselves our next test. So we got that, and now we're going to say allow going to max cap at max int given overflow possibility. So I'm going to set the initial value of our tokens equal to int.maxValue. Actually, we're going to set it equal to, we're just going to set it equal to 100. So we're going to start at 100, we're going to add int.maxValue, and we're going to want it to remain at int.maxValue. No, Janiscu, he's not everywhere. Wait, hang on, let me orient myself. I am now roughly facing towards Crimson Green. He's that way. I mean, like hours that way, but he's that way. Alright, so this one fails. Why does this one fail? Oh, look at that! We found negative! There we go, we overflowed. So, yep, so that proves it. Right now, I can actually bonus all you guys. Alright, let's give it a try. So, bonus, coins, Janiscu. Okay. Bonus, Janiscu. Let's see if it worked. There you go, Janiscu, you're welcome! Congratulations, I gave you so many coins! Well, boins. Coins. I'm not sure what the boins command is. Uh-oh, hang on, Janiscu, sorry, off by 1. And here, have a couple of extras. So, there we go. So, that was pretty good. That was a nice test. So, definitely does that. I like how our test confirmed that it really will do that. Yes, Morgos, we can bonus people into debt. It's perfect. We'll keep them trapped paying off this debt forever. They owe me so many coins. Async Awake, you know you can use the bonus command, right? Cheapskate. I love that the bot yells at you if you try to actually give negatives. Okay, so the bonus command we gave coins equal to that, so int.max value, so add currency 2. So add currency 2, add currency 2, add currency 2. It's not the one I wanted. Add currency 2. Tokens to add. Okay, so here is the challenge. So this right here, so this is safe token adding. Capped token adding. Alright, so we pulled this out. Oh, yeah, I could local function it. I love local functions. Hopefully you all love local functions too. They're really nice. But I don't want to do a lambda expression for this. I want to have a statement. There we go. I was kidding, guys. We're doing one of these. We're going to say private... Oh, whoops! It wants tokens to add. All right, no, we're going to local function. So we're going to say chat user dot tokens to add. Okay, so we're going to say tokens equals. There might be a better way to write this, but here's what I'm going to do. Equals this plus that. Now, I'm going to wrap it in parens just because I'm old school and I like wrapping things in parens like this. And I'm going to say, if this, it'll be... wait, sorry, people said stuff in chat. Hey, async, are you the same as on CSC? Only 36 are joining. Oh, nobody won. Okay, so here's what I want to do. I want to make this do a safe add. So these are both integers. I know they're both integers. You know, Morgos, I think there is a, I think there's a 100 coin bonus if you follow the channel. I'm not 100% if that works because I didn't write the code, but if it does. Okay, so if that is greater than 0, and that is greater than 0, and chat user.tokens plus tokens to add is less than 0, chat user.tokens equals int.max value. That, or I could throw an exception and just be like, no, what are you doing? What do you guys think? Should we just throw the exception on that? Whoa! Whoa! Jobun, I could do a lot of things. You got suggestions? I got Stream Brain right now, and then not really come up with anything good. Yeah, BitLaw. That's what we're trying to do right now. Is just make sure that we don't overflow. But I'm actually not sure. What I'm debating is if we were going to overflow, should we just throw an exception and not allow it to happen, or should we? I actually don't know that, Jobun. Nice. Well, that's pretty cool. So you're saying just do this and it will throw the exception for us, and we won't have to worry about it then. Well, at that point, I could actually just put that in here, and wonk. No, that's not what I wanted. Can I just put this in here now? No? Okay, well, we'll leave it as this then. There we go. Nice enough. Yeah, Joe Bun, self isn't a thing. Why don't you just store it as a big int or something? BitLaw, I could go with a larger number, but then, I mean, we could eventually overflow whatever it is we use there. So, I mean, I could use a double, for example, and that would get us the same result. Really, I just want to put the safety in there, because why not have the safety in there? It's not like I'm expecting someone to hit this anytime soon, either. Extract, method, counter, factory, counter... Okay, cool. Great. Alright, so let's go ahead and stop it. And, yeah, bonus, Jobun. Oh, right. You know, I'm going to do that while the bot's on, because I just stopped the bot. That was smart, Brendan. Good job. So we're going to go ahead and give Jobun a bonus, because that was a good suggestion. Alright, so, in theory now, if we run this, this should throw an exception, so that'll be a different, wow. Yeah, BitLaw, you should consider giving more... Okay, cool. So, we got an overflow exception. So, let's just have it. Assert dot throws overflow exception. It's just an action, right? Yeah, okay. And we're going to grab this. And we're going to say, make a nice arrow, a nice big fat arrow, and do that. And then, now it just can't happen, so you just can't do it. Let's see, Nar003, hi, welcome. Hopefully you're having a good day. Wait, action test something that test should throw. Oh, Jobun, is there one if I make an action for it? Okay, yeah. I think we might have done that somewhere else once, too. Test code. Test code dot should throw overflow exception. There we go. Which actually, now that I think about it, we technically could do that on this if we wrapped it, I think. No, we're not going to do that. I was just kidding, guys. I was just kidding. Don't kill me. Don't kill me. Alright, Kubok. I apologize for butchering your name, but hello. Welcome. How to increase my skills in JavaScript. Any advice? Nar003. I would actually give you the same advice for JavaScript as for any language. And that's pretty much write code using it. And now what I should actually say deliberate practice is what I would recommend. And by that, I mean, there's one thing of like writing code in a production environment for your job. You do gain a lot of skills with that, and I agree it's very valuable. But I would also recommend if you are trying to get better with something, go in a contained environment and work on it. So, it's nice. And Twitchloff, an assert that is basically the same thing as like an assert true, right? And it's basically the same thing. An assert that is an assert true. It's just a different word for it. So, Munzi, yes, that is correct. Find a project and build it. So the big recommendation I would give to anybody is go do a simple thing. So a good recommendation would be like go check out like a code kata or something, and go do one of those in it. So for JavaScript, there aren't as many that there's gotta actually JavaScript code kata. Gotta be some good ones. Code Wars, do they do it? JavaScript? Looks like yes. So. Yep, return that and that. Woohoo! Alright, anyway. There we go. And yeah, people are right. And you're totally right, Nar003. Beginner, like, there's limited amounts of practice. One thing that we don't want to promote is you don't want to, like, push yourself too much. You want to make sure that you've got a reasonable balance. You want to be able to have some life that's not just programming. So make sure you get out there and write some code, practice, get better, improve where you want to improve. But don't burn yourself out doing stuff. There's, like... a lot of people push that stuff too far. Janiscu says that testing the DevChatter bot math skills in give function. Yes, exactly. But really, any language you're trying to learn about is a good way to find something you want to make or have an idea about. Yes. No, Bitlaw, we're not gonna regex our give. Yes, Morgus. There is life other than programming. I play video games, for example. It's fun. I also play board games. So hopefully you guys hopefully you guys meant to put a Kappa emote after that. And, do I not allow you to give only one coin? Oh, yes, I remember. Hang on, guys. Let me show you this. You're gonna laugh. Hang on. You guys are gonna love this. Hang on. Check this out. Wait for it. Let me show you why you can only give one coin. Let me show you why. You're gonna laugh so hard at this. Okay. Or why you can't give one coin, I mean. Alright, so in this code, coins give, so if you try to give less than 2 coins, we don't let you do it. And so first off, I was gonna do like mine, like less than 1, and then I realized, I'm like, wait, hang on. If I don't let you send only 1 coin, then I never actually have to deal with this S right here. I don't even have to worry about it. I don't have to worry about, like, you should consider giving, taking coins from that and giving them to so-and-so. I don't have to write taking 1 coin from so-and-so and failed to send coin. I don't need to worry about that because, you know, like, because we require that you send multiple coins. So I avoided that whole issue. That's great. Very, very smart. I like that approach. We sort of cheated and it worked out well. Yeah, so you are allowed to give the bot coins. I don't know why you would give the bot coins. Good job. Good job. Yeah. So it's actually pretty easy to deal with those things, like handling the singular and plural case. Like, that's not difficult code, but I was like, you know what? I don't care. This is fun. Oh, here, guys. Okay, so Janisku's complaining because I set it so that only subscribers to the channel can actually start up a Hangman game. So, but Async Awake is a mod, so Async Awake can also start up Hangman games, and actually can do it with completely ignoring the cooldown that we have. Okay, so other code cleanup that we want to do. Let's go ahead and so we adjusted the bonus command, and okay, so first off, global cooldown doesn't should not affect mod and streamer. So we're going to commit that, and then this change is prevent. This is prevent currency overflow with bonus command. Now, I'm more worried about it with the bonus command than I am with the give command, so I'm not even going to bother confirming that the give command is protected by this also, because the give command would require that 2 people have enough coins between them for one of them to give the other one. So I guess if everyone in here decided to give all of their coins to one person, then we would still be nowhere near an integer overflow, so I'm not worried about it. Oh, wow, that's awesome. See? LNG Grinds managed to get into the into our help text. So, see? There you go. Oh, and I think that calls for a Magnus command of stop trying to break stuff. Because you guys keep trying to break stuff. Although you're allowed to break stuff, I don't mind that you keep trying to break stuff. You're allowed. I was just kidding. We don't mind at all. Alright, so we improved that code. Let's take a look at what else we can improve inside of this code base. So we're just on a code improvement binge. We're going to wander through. Anybody else know of anything in our code that we could clean up a little bit? Hello, Helloja. Yes, Margos, you're all unpaid QA testers. Or as I like to call them, users. Oh yeah, Morgos, you guys are getting paid in DevChatter bot coins. I don't know what that word is, guys. Good luck, we added additional words. At least your bot is thoroughly tested for input validation. Yeah, Bitlot. So, I'm not sure that we've gotten all of the, I'm not sure that we have everything tested and protected everywhere, because I do know we run into some issues every once in a while, but yes, our users in chat are good about making sure that they try to break our bot, so it gets tested. Okay. Automated message is inside of this. It's an interval action of that. You know what? That reminds me. Let's take a look. Here's what we're gonna. Here's another thing we can look at today. Well, we'll get to it in a little bit. Let's take a look at some of our other stuff. User exists. We don't use that apparently. No one calls it. So we're going to get rid of that from there, and then we're going to go down here, and it should be in here also. Oh, wait, someone was using it on here. Cool. We don't need to make it public, though. I don't remember what that word is, guys. Oh, man. We are so dead. Because I do not remember what this word is. What was it? Oh, Stack Overflow! Oh! And you figured it out before we failed. Oh, man. Yeah, it was totally Stack Overflow. Oh, man. Yeah, see? The Hangman game, it's surprisingly difficult. If it makes you feel better, I was about to guess a letter that was going to make us fail, too. Alright, so... Okay, yeah, I'm going to ignore that. So, inspect... Let's see... Yeah, so we need to add a lot more words to our Hangman dictionary so that playing is a little bit better. More things. Okay, so qualifier this is redundant. Yes, it is. Good suggestion. I'm going to get rid of that. We don't need that. This wants to add curly braces, I think. Which we're gonna skip those. What is this not like? That qualifier is redundant. Yes, it is. And then when we get to this one, inconsistent. Oh, yeah, okay. So we're gonna convert that. So this is gonna be this. And now I'm gonna clean this up because this text it just put in here is awful. Awful text there. Okay, there we go. So that's a little nicer. So we're going to say use that one, or if it's null, go ahead and grab the other part there. That'll be a little bit nicer. So, there we go. Wait, did you guys crash my bot? Alright, we'll have to figure out why that bot crashed there. I didn't actually look at what it was doing. Maybe I changed something out from under it. We are actively, when I say we're actively developing this bot, I mean like the instance that I run in chat is the one that's in Visual Studio right now. So to say that we often have unstable code that we're running is really an understatement. We always have unstable code that we're running in here. So, fully expect it. And yes, I am very brave to allow you guys to run commands against a program that is running on my computer. Not exactly the safest thing, huh? Alright, so taking a look at our inspection results. So let's common practices and improvements. Let's see what we got. Field can be made read-only. Yes, it can. I love making fields read-only. Way nice. Alright. Ooh, a compiler warning. That's actually a legitimate thing. Okay, so the quote entity policy... Oh, I bet we put one on data item, didn't we? Yeah, there's a public static all on there, so we don't actually need this one. It's just hiding... It's just hiding the other one. There's already a hangman again. Oh, whoa, what is our word? Whoa. I'm not sure what our word is here. Orange! Hey, there you go. Nice. Good job, Crimson. Good job. Oh. That's why, huh? Quote entity policy, not all quote entity policy. What do you mean it can't determine that? It's on a quote entity policy. Huh. Okay, so would it actually be possible to inject something in there through a command? Helosia, so I have talked about making it possible to actually send C# to the bot and have it compile using Roslyn, the C# compiler, and make it so it can actually execute C# code. But I'm usually kidding when I talk about that. As awesome as that sounds, it also sounds incredibly terrifying, and even hearing that suggestion would make someone get really scared. Bitlaw, if we can escape the parameters, we might be able to execute something. I don't really know any safety issues like that in C#, though. Yeah, Bitlaw, so the challenge is stuff's coming through as a string, so as long as my code and TwitchLib's code is not doing anything really stupid, it should be fine. The big thing is as long as we didn't do something stupid. Not to say I didn't do something stupid, because I very well may have. Okay, so name protected this. It wants to rename to that, but that's not actually the name convention that I want. So here's the problem. ReSharper's naming has fields not private, but I want protected to be a category. And it only does not private, which is what's irritating about that. So that one's actually fine the way it is. Those are also just protected things. Oh, that's funny. It wants to rename the class because I shouldn't have a class that starts with the letter I, but these are changes to the, this is I comparable extensions. I'm gonna leave that as is for now. That is a weird case. Alright, move to, yeah, that's a good change. That is a good change right there. That should be in the other namespace. Good catch, ReSharper. Good catch. You guys not in the middle of a game, right? Good. I'm going to go ahead and stop the bot so I can get a build to happen again. I just want to make sure it's nice and works. Alright, there we go. Bot's coming back in, everybody. Bot's coming back in. So, hopefully. With how long it's taken, I'm betting we're doing the retry loop. Okay. Alrighty, so that has been moved. Let's take a look at some of these other ones. Token, simple token. Is that just those? Okay. Okay, so we're going to close down these, and let's go ahead and get these. So Helosia, I mentioned this on Discord, and for anybody that doesn't know, if you do want to talk about anything related to DevChatter outside of the DevChatter stream, you should go to our Discord, which is a chat application that is used commonly among gamers. It's a free chat application that you can use, and you can hop over there and you can talk to us about any kind of code thing. So James was not able to make it today, so we were going to be pair programming today. Instead, he and I are going to pair program on Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And then I have another pair programming stream next Thursday that we're going to be doing. So we have 2 pair programming streams coming up, and I'm trying to get a couple more set up as well. Judgmentally, I like the name. This is GitHub Desktop, and we use it for the stream, and it's actually pretty nice for what we want to do. Code cleanup. Oh man, oh geez, so I'm always commenting that I apologize to everybody that I'm gonna butcher names and things like that. I'm gonna go with Bane because I think that might be right for the end, but thank you for following and welcome to DevChatter. Yeah, so judgmentally, this is actually GitHub Desktop, not GitHub for Windows. They're actually distinct programs. And in fact, you can have both of them installed on your computer, but this one is actually pretty nice. I like it. And Bitlaw, I've used SourceTree before as well. But most of the time, so I have used Git Kraken. I like it also. And I usually am actually a Git Shell kind of person. So I have Git Shell and I also have Git Bash both installed on my computer and run them. So, yep, it's pretty good. Yep, Twitch client settings. Twitch user ID. Does it want to change that to user ID? Yep, of course it does. And language usage opportunities. I wonder what this is. So I'm just checking out what kinds of suggestions ReSharper's making based on what we could do. Convert method call. Oh my god. No. No. I don't want. Do not want. No, there it is again. Do not want. Do not want. That's terrible. No, that's gonna be another one. No, that's gonna be another one. Oh man. Alright, here we go. So that's an improvement. That's an improvement. Okay, yeah, there we go. Potential code quality issues, huh? Really? I set this and never used it inside of automated action system? I didn't use the clock? Weird. Alright, I believe you. Let's remove it. So now, in order to get it out of here, I'm going to do this. I'm going to change the signature and remove it, because when I do it this way, it should actually get all the usages of it. And that should clean those out. Let's see. Do you like it? Works a lot. Is the free version of Git Kraken any good? It's really just using the Git shell. Oh, ReSharper's... Helloja, yes, ReSharper is back. But I'm just starting to use it. And okay, no one's running any games or anything, so what that means is I am going to go ahead and stop the bot. So, sorry guys. Just going to do that. We're going to restart the bot again. Get that running. Once the bot's back in the building, we're going to go ahead and run some commands against it. There it is. For anybody that is wondering, all of our code is out on GitHub, so you can actually find it all out at github.com/devchatter. And I do recommend people join our Discord if you are interested in continuing the discussion with us after this. But let's go ahead and get this committed as well. So we removed the unnecessary clock from that. ReSharper code cleanup suggestions, and then this one is remove unused field from auto action system. There we go. So that's a nice change. I like that. We simplified that. Let's see what else it's got that we should be cleaning up. So that I did. So I'm doing that intentionally, and I don't want to get into why just now. Feels okay. Yeah, we can ignore that one. Possible null reference exception. No, it's not. It really isn't. But sure. Well, yeah. Yeah. Right. Rawr. This is not a possible null reference exception. I refuse to allow it to... Here, look. Look. There. It's no longer a possible null reference exception. Uh, Memphis 10, welcome. Thanks for following. I am arguing with Visual Studio and ReSharper right now. It's telling me things that just aren't the case. It is technically a null reference exception, but it's really never going to get called without that. I happen to know that the call of it news up an object. It calls the constructor. It's not going to be null. Technically it could be, but man, there's just a point where you're just writing that too many times. The arguments list, I could see that being null. I changed that bit, code a bit in my oh, TwitchLove, you have a PR sitting. Let me take a look. If it's in there, let me take a look before I mess with stuff too much. Let me not break everything first. We'll bring in your changes first so that I don't break your stuff. So TwitchLove sent us a PR. Let's take a look at it, everybody. Okay, so we have some new tests there. Add command operation. If event args chat user can user, you're out of date. Gotta be right. No conflicts. Oh, can user run command user role mod. Oh, that's still in this, right? I didn't merge mine back in yet. Okay, so if user, you need to be a moderator to run this command, and then we add those. Ah, so you did that before checking those. So you moved that up to be the first thing that we did, and then after that you then said, parse out the role that that's have, and then change command to be that. And then in your tests you said, try to execute should not save command given already registered command text. Okay. So you set this up with command word adventure. TwitchLove, I assume you do not mind if I make some changes to this. So anybody that was wondering, here's one of the reasons why we are running in this code that we are. So before I mess with add command operation, because you said you're working on that one, I'm going to go ahead and undo these changes. So we're going to get rid of those. One of the reasons why we're doing this is because I can hop over, oh, whoops, fetch origin. You'll see that in this pull request tab here, I can go and grab that pull request, and it will go and automatically set all this up and actually make a I get like a local checkout of the PR branch super easily like that, which I like. So now we're actually running the code that TwitchLove sent us. And then when we run this, we will find the tests that were written for this over in where is it? Try to execute on add command operation test. So try to execute should in add command operation tests right here. And then inside of here, so here's why I jumped over here. TwitchLove, I'm going to make a couple of changes. I don't think you will care too much, but what I'm going to do is this. I am going to extract a method. So one of the big things that I like here, oh right, that failed earlier and I didn't fix it. So we're going to extract a method, and right now I'm going to say get test event args. Because I notice you doing this every single time, so I want to go ahead and just yank that out and be like, let's just get test event args. Are you always calling add? Yes, you're always calling add, but your other values change a little bit. So let's see, we passed in the new command word. We're going to make this a parameter as well, called response text. And then this one we're going to extract also as role required. Okay. Okay, so This used anywhere? No. So I am going to actually inline this now. Which is not super nice. Someone might not like it that way, but I don't mind it. Okay, so now we have get test event args. So now I'm going to do the same thing up in this method as well. So over here we're going to say this, and you use just command word, response text, and role required. Okay. And chat user role of everyone. This is chat user's role. So this needs to be a parameter as well. Okay, we're going to simplify to those. New command word in your case was command word in this one. And the role is everyone. So now we don't need this anymore. But the chat user role has changed mods. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I did get that, yeah. Sorry, probably a little bit of stream delay there. And then this one. Message equals this. And now you did command word. For the command word. Command response for the command response. Role required, and then this one's also a mod. There we go. Yeah, so as long as we parameterize those few things, then it works pretty well. So this is new word. Response. How about you don't? And then role required is fine. Let's go ahead and do this. Okay, so cleaning up the test a little bit, and then I will push these up, and then we'll call this good, assuming these pass. So these tests all pass still, so that's nice. And what are these tests? Try to execute should not save given already registered command text. Okay, yep, makes sense. Not save when it is not a moderator. Okay. Save command given valid arguments. Yep, there you go. Okay, cool. I like it because it does both sides. It did the happy path and the sad path and tested them both a little bit. So 2 reasons why it wouldn't save, and then one case where it does. Very nice, very nice. I'm gonna sort those, and let's go ahead and commit these. This is gonna be extracting helper method. And then when I commit this, what's neat about this, if everybody here is watching, is this is actually going to update that PR automatically. So see, it says this page is out of date. I can refresh, and you'll see that that this code is now in here in this pull request. So now all we have to do is wait for that to go. So I am going to approve these changes. I think those are pretty good. And as long as AppVeyor comes back having built this and says that this code does build correctly, we're going to let this one get merged in. So that's a pretty nice change. Thank you, Twitchloff. I like it. Good set of tests. Those were very nice unit tests. Our bot's running, right? Yes. So if anybody else wants to be able to contribute to the project, do a little bit of open source stuff, you can go ahead and check out our GitHub at github.com/devchatter. And why did we fail? What happened? Dot operation, second operation started in the context before the previous one completed. Yeah, okay, we do it. So we ran into this last stream as well. So it's been on my backlog to go and review this and take a look at this code, clean it up a little bit. we might have to do this sooner rather than later. So once I get this stuff merged in, I'm going to merge in our code cleanup branch, and then we're going to start taking a look at this. So we have a little bit of a concurrency issue going on that I want to get resolved. And we will go ahead and work that out. So bot should be back in there. We're going to go ahead and merge this pull request. It's going into the master branch from his, so there we go. That's fine. I don't mind it coming in from your master branch if you didn't want to do a branch. So that goes well. Now I want to hop over to our branch over here. I'm going to jump us back onto the master branch for a second just so I can pull latest version of that down, and then I'm going to hop over to our code improvements. Now I want to open up the Git shell that I've got locally here. Interesting. DevChatter on stream, DevChatter bot. So, bring this over here. Quote command cleanup, you can extract the message to a variable, then you have only one line and send message. That way you can use the question mark operator in a non-ugly way. Yes, if I pull it out into a string, then we can do a single ternary on that, and it would be nicer. Here's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to do this. This is how you test. So then what I'm going to say is rebase this onto master, and I just want to see what happens. Okay, so we ended up with a single file that was add command operation is where our conflict occurred. Add command operation. So there was apparently a conflict here, and yes, of course there was, because this stuff got rearranged, and I think this is probably the only place where this sort of thing happened. So this was part of the rename that. Okay, we're gonna add that, and then we're gonna do a git rebase continue. And yeah, I know I'm not on my right branch right now, but this is how I like to test things. Okay, cool. So now we're gonna go back to that code improvements. I just wanted to make sure what was gonna happen when I did a rebase onto master, because it's really nice if I can do that, because then I can just throw away that branch if it doesn't work out all that nicely. Oh man, look at that. I'm magic. I'm a wizard. I'm a wizard. So I like rebasing onto stuff. It works out nicely. Hang on one sec. I gotta click the no peeking button so you guys don't see me do this. I'm totally not doing anything, guys. Don't you worry. I wouldn't dare do a git push -f on that, because that would be terrible. I would never ever do that. Hang on. Yeah, see guys, look, I didn't do anything. See, nothing. I totally didn't do that. Okay. So now when I look at this, we have no changes. That's perfect. And I think this code probably works. Although it's not like I'm running it right now, right here. Now what we want to do is, Twitchloft made a great suggestion there. If we hop over to our quote command stuff, we called out... Oh, we don't use those? Because I got moved into the operations. So, argument 1. Okay, so in here, the suggestion was if we pull this into a variable, committed by minute. What you talking about, Munzie? What's with this? What you mean? What are you wondering about? You talking about over here? I didn't force push that. Why would you think that? Okay, so here is the problem. If I do this, I make this do this. This is not the worst thing in the world, except that it's a little nicer if we probably do it like this. And actually, I want to say quote question mark toString question mark dot toString that. Is that the same code? Oh yeah, Munzie. Yeah, all the commits are there from the stuff we've been working on here. So you can see all the commits. They're all there. Welcome to open source. Every stupid thing that I do is not only recorded in source control, but there's a recording of it on video, on Twitch, and on YouTube, showing you Brendan messing up and not thinking right. So whenever I do one of these, it is nice and live for everyone to see. So that ought to work. I didn't have that many force commits. Oh crap! Hey! Oh, that's awesome. Anybody here in Discord? If anybody in here is in our Discord, because I have GitHub telling it, you can actually see it outed me. Hang on. Over in whoops, sorry guys. This is on our Discord, so you guys can see that. It's awesome. Yep, we did well. We did well. They force pushed. Right there. There's the evidence. Okay. So I actually don't mind that. That's not the worst code ever. Clean up the quote command code. We're gonna go ahead and commit that as well. All right. Let's go ahead and get these changes pushed up, and let's go ahead and run everything. Make sure it's all still working, and we're not crazy, because pretty sure our tests are passing, but it's always a good idea to also run the code, just make sure it actually works as far as we're all concerned. Nice little sanity check here. Let's go ahead and whoops. Helps if you wait until the bot's actually running before you start trying commands. Man, even with our retry, that thing will still fail sometimes. So our bot is actually set. So there is an undocumented Twitch API that will sometimes throw a 500 error, and our bot is actually set to retry it like 5 times or something like that. And yes. I forget how many retries we have in here. Retry exception. Where is this used? That's used right there. So inside of here, yeah, we do 5 retries at half-second intervals, trying to get that API to work, and we still fail. So that API is really unreliable. So thanks, Twitch. Really appreciate it. Alright, so that code seems to work. Let's try running some commands just to make sure that everything seems to go. So quotes work. Quote add. And that thing is really unreliable. Brendan. There we go. Created quote 14. Quote 14. There we go. Man, that thing is really unreliable. Sweet. Okay, so our quoting system seems to work. And so do other things. So let's try it out. I'm not sure what our hangman word is here, guys, but I am going to keep on trying. I am not sure what this word is. So something... Oh, it's not an I. Oh, I know it, I know it! Who got it? Who got it? Async Awake beat me to it. Nice job, Async Awake. You got it. There you go. That was a surprisingly difficult word. The word we were trying to guess was Code Rush. So that was difficult. But you'll see that our Hangman game does work. So it's pretty decent. I like it. So I am going to say that that code is good. Which means I'm going to send in a pull request for it. So new pull request. Coming in from our code improvements branch. We're going to go ahead and create that pull request. General code cleanup. Just do a little bit of that every once in a while. So the nice thing about that is I actually recommend that everybody do this in your regular code base every once in a while. I don't recommend going on big change fests where you go and improve tons of things. Just like every once in a while, take a half hour and just, do a little bit of cleanup, fix up some names, just small little pieces. That way, if you do break something when you're doing this refactoring, it's going to be small and easy to find and easy to identify. If you do like a giant refactoring of your whole project, you're really likely to have messed something up, and that's not really what you want to do. So, small changes. Small changes. So, yes, 24 files, but it's little changes like renames and things like that. See, that file, the only change here was just a rename of this method, and again, a rename of that method. So it's just little tweaks here and there, just to get things fixed up. And you usually want to do those when no one is otherwise making changes. So, good job, Crimson. Choose Pikachu. Sound like RPS. Pikachu. Oh, I didn't want to pick, so it gave me paper. Paper's closest to Pikachu, I think, so that was a good choice, game. Well done. Alright, so let's hop over to the master branch. We are going to hop over here. We're going to take a look at the pull request again. We are waiting to see if it builds. It did the branch first again. No, do the pull request. Do the pull request. Once that finishes, we're going to go ahead and merge this in. I'm pretty sure it's fine, though, because the branch one ran correctly, so why wouldn't the PR one? But I am going to let it finish, despite the fact that I could skip it as an admin. Alright, so one of these days there's some refactoring that I actually want to do. essentially related to some of these streaming services and followable services and other things like that that we've got that are on Twitch. I kind of want to hide away a little bit of what is special about the way that Twitch works as opposed to some of the other services we might connect to. And so that is one change that I do want to make at some point. And, okay. Let's go ahead and get this in here. So this should be done now, right? Yep, there we go. We're going to go ahead and merge that in. Delete that. And now we're going to hop back over into this, do another fetch, do a pull. And now our master branch is updated. So I am going to pull up our issue list. For anybody that is interested in contributing to this project, keep in mind that we do have a nice issue list that shows us all the various issues that we could work on. And we includes you, so if you wanted to work on one of these, you are more than welcome to do some contribution. So if you want to work on your first open source project, for example, it could be this one. Abstract the concept of a joinable game, heist game. Add heist game to the bot. This is in. Let's go ahead and close that. That's there. The heist game exists. Oh yeah, that's true. We have the heist game, everybody. It's not much yet, but it is here. So if you want to play the heist game, you can. We need to add a lot more to it, but it is basically there now. Send a quote, alias a command with parameters. This is a cool concept that I want to think about. Yeah, you cannot be a potato on the heist. If you don't know which role you want, just don't specify a role and it will randomly assign you one. So, the thought here is, it would be cool if you could alias another command. Alias a command with parameters, and you didn't have to pass the parameters. So this was the thought. It's almost like saving the set of arguments that you would pass to it. Not sure how I want to implement this, though. This one there's a lot of thinking for how we could do this one. And Heloja remembered that there's a role called Thug. Nice job, Heloja. It would be easier to jump in and do the add no currency to bots if there were some hints to where in the code the change must be made. Is it more than one command location that gives coins? That's a good point. So currency generator. So if we go in here, add currency watch if needed. Is this the one that runs every once in a while? That is a very good point. So give no currency to known bots. Nightbot does not need currency. And so what that means is we don't want the interval action to be adding currency through the currency generator to the known bots. This process would normally give some coins periodically. Okay. So there, that one has an explanation. And let me pull up all the good first issues and make sure they're all pretty clear. This one I think is pretty clear about what that one needs to be. Show the amount of coins one spent for each game. It's a good point. And add basic error logging. That one actually, you know, I put that in here, but I think a long time ago when we created this, this would have been a good first issue. I don't think it is anymore. So I think now the project has gotten large enough that that's no longer a good first issue for someone. This actually could be a good first issue, though. Friendlier message if you didn't get your settings in place. Okay, so it would be easier to jump into the, I remember because of his previous name. Oh yes, Halosia. That is a reason to remember the thug. Async Awake DevChatter about these aliases. I'm wondering if it would be better to hard code aliases in rather than store them in the database, because as it is, every streamer that set up the bot has to manually add all the aliases, right? Like CMD for commands, etc., etc. Yeah, so Async Awake, part of the reason why we did it as a database style approach is that you could alias them to words that would be more appropriate in your language, for example. So if you are not a native English speaker, you could alias them however you want. But that's not to say that what we couldn't do instead, Async Awake, is this. We could put it inside, oh, not there, this one, inside of the default database settings that we do. Down here, we add the default commands. That's not to say that we couldn't put something in here that added additional commands to this set. So we could come in here and be like, you know, for the commands command, add these other ones as well. So you could put a method in here that adds like a default set of commands, and I would be good with that if you wanted to put that in there. Does that make sense, Async Awake? That would be the idea. So, okay. To work on next, let's hop over to our schedule command, because I know that's another thing that needs some updating. So there's a handful of things related to our schedule command that we need to work on. I'm just glad Swifty Spiffy's not here, because man, that guy is so annoying how he always shows up saying ahoy. Also, hi Swifty Spiffy, welcome. I was just kidding. Yeah, Async Awake. That would be a great one. Hey, I was just kidding, Swifty. You know I was kidding. Hey, look, I did a DevChatter hype. I'm like a little dinosaur with a hype sign. I was just kidding. Okay, so right now we are hard-coded into mine. There's a couple of things that I've got from this that are a little bit annoying. So we did time of day, which... let me show you the problem with this. If I just do a schedule, and I say schedule -4, that's the schedule as far as I'm concerned of when our DevChatter stream happens. So we have Mondays at 2 p.m., Tuesdays at 2 p.m., Thursdays we start at noon, and Saturdays we start at 1. That's for me. But that doesn't help you guys all that much. Gets the portion of this times... so... So I could... So, time of day, but then if I do a time of day, dot toString, pattern text, I can do this, but the problem is I still need to give a format provider. I'm not sure what that is gonna do for me there, so Yeah, Hiloja, it's kind of weird that 12 p.m. is... It confuses a lot of people, but yeah, 12 p.m. is noon. That's what it's weird. You should add the time zone to the message. Yes, so there are a couple of things. Our usual schedule is... Okay, so... Let me go ahead and pull this up. We're going to see Noda time format string. There's got to be something for this. Values advice on choosing text patterns. No. We need... local time patterns. What do we want? We want H. We want a lowercase h because we're using AM PM, right? We don't want fractional seconds either. Oh, wait. T? Short time pattern? What's this give me? Yeah, so I do want to actually get the name of the time zone in there. Let's take a look at what we get when I do this. So, hour, minute, second. I don't know what that's actually going to do, but I'm going to go ahead. We're gonna restart this bot. We're going to take a look. We're just going to start trying it until we get some here. I might move this over into a test so we can mess with it more easily. What is this? The schedule command? Schedule -4. Okay, it did not say the word PM, so I still need to figure out what triggers the saying of PM or whatever. Or whatever it is for your situation. What the... Yeah, we could do 24-hour clock and then it solves the problem. So we'll do a 24-hour clock. Can I do that? There we go. Current culture. Sorry guys, you get my culture. Have a good lurk, Async Awake. Alright, so we're going to do that for now. Except, I kind of want to do this. Well, let's go ahead and pull this into a method. Or extract a method. I'm going to call it foo. We're going to call this get time display, because that sounds nicer. Get time display, and then you just pass in the date and then the time zone. So that'll be Monday, Tuesday. So okay. And yes, I know this is hard-coded to mine right now, so I apologize for that, everybody. But we're going to get this into a data-driven format at some point. But we just want to get it there slowly, because we're figuring out a couple of things. We don't know node at time all that well, so we're just kind of, you know, mucking around in it until we can make it work right. So now we've got that. That's a little bit nicer. So now if I go ahead and restart the bot and run it, this should actually not suck and tell us the time in a nicer way. Let's see if the 24-hour clock that we switched to is going to be any better. And I think it's doing those retries right there. Schedule -4. Twitchloff has a suggestion. What's your suggestion, Twitchloff? If you remove the culture info and use a string concat... Oh, and actually, I just realized I don't want that S on there. We just need hours and minutes. If you remove the culture info and just use string concat, you can do formatted date, $. Oh, yeah, that's a good point. I totally could. Yeah. And actually, it's funny that I call it Monday in here. Instant. Okay, so what we were saying is we could do essentially $quote and then this piece here, which actually, now that I think about it, we may not even need all of this. And then we could just say ooh, actually, we're going to run into a problem here, because those... I think... Let's see what it does. Yeah, well, we're gonna see what this does, because I'm not sure what it's going to do because of the fact that I'm putting a colon in the inside of my format string. I remember there's some weirdness with that. I think I might need to escape it somehow, but I don't remember what the escape is for that. But let's take a look at what we get when we run it, because maybe it'll just work. So I see people periodically dropping in. If you're new here, welcome. Hopefully you're enjoying the stream a little bit. We're just trying to make this work a little bit. So that's 2 p.m., 2 p.m., noon, and 1 p.m. So that does work correctly. Let's see, node time, format, AM, PM. And I want to parse that into. I want to print it. PM, no. The other side. Not when parsing, when... Ah, okay, got it. So TT should do it. So... Sorry, I'm gonna do this. Let's see if that gets me what I'm looking for. stop, exit. There we go. Go and run this. Getting those format strings right, everybody. So we're gonna build, there we go. Oh, I like it. 2 p.m., 2 p.m., 12 p.m., 1 p.m. Nice. Okay, I like that change. That's a good change. Fix up schedule command. Whoops. We're gonna branch, new branch. Henrik schedule command. Improvements. Fix up schedule command. Display text. So we're gonna do that one. The next thing I want to change about this, so we are hard coded to what my dates are. The next thing I want to do is we said Mondays at, and I kind of want to get that word. Instant dot. 2 date. How do I get the day of week from that? Zone dot. Day of week. There we go. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. Whoops, didn't want to start that with that. We're gonna say, and sorry about culture, everybody. That's gonna be a pain to get at some point. WTF Blub, thank you for following. You've been here for a little bit, so I hope that means you've enjoyed the stream and you're hoping to catch it the next time. This is going to mess up because it's going to say Mondays, but I'll clean those up in a second. I just want to see if this is going to work. So we're going to restart the bot again. And so now that's in there. Schedule -4. Mondays at Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays. Okay, cool. So that is perfect. So what that means now is that we're now just dealing with these commas. So it's really a add this at the end of each one of these lines here, like that. And then a plus that. So there we go. So now we're saying add that comma each time and comma space those things. So now when I restart this bot again, our schedule command should basically be formatted nicely and all be coming from those values. And so now we could actually look at getting this in the database, which is what we wanted the whole time, making it so our schedule command is coming from the database, which is going to be a nice improvement. So let's go ahead and run the schedule command again. Dan the Metaphor, welcome, thanks for following. Hopefully you're enjoying DevChatter. So our usual schedule is Mondays at 2 p.m., Tuesdays at 2 p.m., Thursdays at 12 p.m., and Saturdays at 1 p.m. So hooray, our schedule command seems to work with this change. So that is more time display fix up. So we're going and getting that nicer, so that's actually not bad now. So essentially what that means now is this data, if we can get that into the database, we're basically golden. Am I still using that? Get instance of day of week? Yeah. really, I just did that so that I could call one of those. But I really could have just picked a date that it was running. So I just did this to make it sort of convenience it a little bit. Yeah, exactly, Twitchloff. I need to make a list instead of just 4 separate variables. Yep, precisely. And then it can really come from the database. So we'll make a list of instance. We're going to call this stream times equals a new list of integers. And here's how we're going to do it. We're going to do this. And then instead of these, we're going to make these commas. And we're going to move this inside of the list. Whoops. Inside of the list right there. And so now this is blowing up. But I happen to know that we can do this now. String, plus string dot join. So we're going to join these strings on that as our separator. And then we're going to say get time display. Stream times dot select. And then I'm going to say inside of the select, I'm going to say get time display x, comma, time zone. End that. And I think we're good now. Can you convert the... so yes, it does actually. So VV3K4I. So right now, so there's a couple of things. So the problem is inside a chat, we don't actually know your time zone. So the only way that we can get that is you have to tell it to us when you use the command. So the way we do that right now is a simple approach, but we're gonna make it better. So right now what you have to do is you have to tell it what your offset is from UTC. So my time zone is currently Eastern Daylight Time, which means I am at UTC -4. And so that's why when I run the schedule command, I say schedule and then I say -4, like I did right there, and you can see it in the chat. And then that gives this back to me in my time zone. But let's say you live in Germany, for example. You might do schedule +2. Or just schedule 2, right? You don't have to put the plus in there, actually, but like... And there is a limit on how far you can go there, XD. But you'll see that my stream starts at 8 p.m. If you are in Germany, for example. And actually, if you type help schedule, you'll see that it gives you the example. It says to see our schedule, just type schedule, and to see it in another time zone, pass your UTC. Exactly. So now you've hit on the point, Relaxaholic. So if we were going to do that approach, Relaxaholic, we probably can't get away with just saying Berlin. Otherwise, we have to take a guess. So what I want to do is this. I would like to be able to say, like schedule Berlin, you know, and then like DE or something like that. So for example, mine, I might do this. And you know, if we did that, for example, I would like the bot to figure out, oh, okay, like that's where he wanted it from, right? And so I could do like schedule, you know, like London, UK or something like that, or schedule, you know, and we might have to call out to some external service to get us a guess on what city and time zone they're in, but that's the way I want it to work. So we'll see how whether or not we can make that one happen in a nice way, but that is the goal, is to make it so that we can do that. Alternately, if we can't get it to do that one very easily, the other option would be to do this. So if I did like schedule EDT, I would want it to bring me back the schedule in Eastern Daylight Time. The problem here is most people don't know what their time zone is, And I know this because everybody here always says that we're in Eastern Standard Time, but that's not how it works. Like, it's hard to explain, but daylight savings time is weird and stupid, and the way that it actually works is the area that you're in changes which time zone they observe, is actually how it works. So the current time in Eastern Standard Time never changes. The current time in Eastern Daylight Time never changes. It happens that in my region, what we do is we switch from observing one time zone to observing another time zone. So that's why it's so weird, and why no one ever knows their time zone. Okay, so that should work. So we've got this, so let's check and see, do we have any other things? So this is change to no more hard-coded, change to list of scheduled times. Okay, so now we're pretty much ready to push this into the database and not be hard-coded anymore. So here's what we need to do to make this actually work with the database. We need to go over, create a new model object that we're going to store in the database. So in order to do this, I'm going to make a new class, and we are going to see, there you go. So if your time zone is UTC +1, then my stream starts usually at 7 p.m., but could start as early as 5 p.m. No, it's actually Coke right now, so sorry, Halosha, but I can still click the button for you. Yeah, sorry, guys. All the viewers leave. Everybody's like, what? He played Pepsi Man and he's drinking a Coke. Alright, oh, and, by the way, guys, I'm supposed to share this with an MVP, which is sad. So the reason I grabbed this Coke, we were supposed to have a pair programmer today. James Chambers was going to join us today, and so I pulled out my can. I had this can. It says MVP, and this is a he's a Microsoft MVP. So I was going to be like, oh look, I'm supposed to share this with you because it says to share a Coke with an MVP, and then he wasn't able to make it today. So consequently, for anybody that is wondering, since James couldn't make it today, we're going to do our pair programming session on Monday. Yes, a drink for the most valuable programmer. Okay, so here's what. Scheduled stream. Schedule entity. We're gonna do schedule entity for now. It's not a great name. I'm not coming up. My brain's not giving me a good word for that right now. This is gonna be a data entity. And it is going to have a property of type instant. Oh, that's a good question. How are we going to store this? Yee. We're going to have to figure that one out. Yeah, XD, it tends to find, like, taste tests tend to find the opposite direction. People say they like Coke better, but they tend to like Pepsi better when you just give them one or the other and they don't know which is which. It's a weird situation. So... Unix timestamp. So note of time is an interesting one. It's actually so it's a good date time zone, date time offset. So technically I think I can use a date time offset. Hang on. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do Nota time entity framework. What do they recommend? Yep, this. Yep, I was wondering about that. So we could write our own getter. Yep, see, so this will be a getter. We're going to store the property as something else. Instance from date time offset. I'm going to say example date time. Now, the reason I'm saying example is that I want a specific date, because I don't want, like, Mondays at such and such. I want, like, if you just give me a date, we can figure it out from that, because we know what day of the week that one was. So that's the idea there. Whoops. Helps if you actually do a copy-paste there, Brendan. Alright, so what this means now is that we want to do this. Let's jump over to our repository. We're going to go into the EF repository here, but we're just doing that because we want this thing. We're going to add a new DB set for schedule entities, plural. And now we should be good, because that should have added in the one that we actually care about right there. Close that, and then we come back in here. We don't need to make any changes to the repository, because we can now come in here. Stupid game, and you won't get me to swear on the channel that easily. And then Vavilus666, and I apologize both of you for butchering your names, but welcome, thanks for following. If we go to the schedule command, which is somewhere around here, schedule command, I know I had it somewhere, there it is. I want to grab the stream times, so we're going to say, instead of pulling them from there, we're going to pull them from the database. So, list of instant stream times equals new. Equals underscore oh, I don't have the repository yet. We're going to add that to, oh no, I do. It's up there, and we passed it in, so it's actually repository. So equals repository dot list, and I'm going to say data entity policy, data item policy of type schedule entity, and I am going to say all. So we're going to get all of these schedule items for now, because we don't have a way around that really. And I'm going to say dot select instant to list. And this does not like it because these are the same thing. And now what I want to do is I want to go to setup database. So sorry everybody, you all get my my schedule as your default on the bot right now. Kind of like how you get a bunch of other DevChatter stuff right now. So I want to say if And then not repository list. We're going to say schedule entity any. So basically, if there aren't any schedule entities yet, repository.create, and then we're going to say get DevChatter schedule, which I think is a nice way to do it. So basically, if you don't have it, you're going to get this, and it is going to be obvious about the fact that it is this is supposed to be a list of, and this is going to be a list of schedule entities. So I created instance, but that's fine. I'm going to make them into schedule entities. And then what we want to do is this. We're going to make new schedule entities. So I'm going to take this. We're going to say new schedule entity. And we're going to say example date time offset. Is that not what it was? What is it? Example date time. Okay. Example date time is this. Example date time, and then that is going to be what's the date of a Monday? May 7th is a Monday. (2018) May. I said 7th, and we want the hour to be 18, minute to be 0, second to be 0, offset from, this is going to be UTC, so that means that we want this to be timespan.0 for UTC. There we go. Alright, so that should work. We want to do the same thing on each one of these now. So that means that Tuesday is going to be 1 day further, 1 day more, Thursday and Saturday. So this one's 17, this one is 16 if I can type. This one is Tuesday, so that would be the 8th, which makes Thursday the 9th and Saturday the 11th. No. 7th, 8th, 10th, right. Helps if I adjust that in the 12th. 7th, 8th, 10th, and 12th. 7th, 8th, 10th, and 12th. There we go. 16 time spans. What does it not like here? Oh, I didn't close the curlies. Duh. Helps if you actually close your curly braces there, Brendan. Alright. There we go. Yep, thanks, Aloja. Yeah. Extreme delay, so I got it. I got it. Alright, so now I just need to return this, and we should be good. Return that. So now we return back our collection of these objects. So this is our default set, so this is going to basically force everybody to use my schedule as default, which I'm not too worried about, because anybody that's running this bot probably watches the stream anyway, so is okay with the fact that they're going to get mine by default. Okay, so couple of other changes we need to make. So I added that to our repository and our data context and everything else, but where it is not it's not actually in the database yet. So you'll notice the code builds, and that's fine. But let me go ahead and get this committed first, and then I'm going to commit the next piece as a separate thing. So this is adding the schedule entity for DB storage. Alright, we need to add a migration now. So the way we're going to do that is this. I'm going to open up tools. So for anybody that doesn't know, we're using Entity Framework Core as our ORM. So that means that Entity Framework is actually what's talking to our database for us. So in order to make this work, we're going to hop over into the Package Manager console. Why the Package Manager console? Because it's a console I can easily get to in Visual Studio that's already set up and in my project and isn't all that bad. So congratulations, we're in here. So I'm going to do add migration. And now I need to give this migration a name. And I apologize, let me get that a little bit bigger so you guys can see what I'm typing here. We're going to say add migration, adding create schedule entity. And now I need to point it at my project. So I want to say, I think it's just dash project. I can't remember if it's 2 or 1. But then the project I want to point it at is this one. And the reason I have to give it a project name is because we don't keep our entity framework inside of our main program. So like the main console of our application doesn't have entity framework, and it doesn't know that entity framework's being used for the project. So it doesn't care. So we have to tell it that we're using a separate project for this. Oh, son of a... Yeah. Oh, what are you talking about? It's fine. Thanks, Arid Tag. Geez, sure. Hang on, let me just cover up as much of this as I can. What are you talking about, guys? You can totally see all the code. Look at that. Yeah. Yeah, we'll see if this works. I don't know. I'm actually kind of weirded out by the fact that it's taken this long. It shouldn't take this long. Yeah, see, it's trying to do stuff with the project. Let me get this out of here. Thanks, guys. Thank you, everybody. That was great. Build failed. Cool. I'm so surprised the build failed. Alright, so now we should have this migration in here. Create schedule entities. So this new table has an ID, column, GUID, nullable, false. Date time offset, also nullable, false. Primary key on that, and then there you go. That's probably good. Take a look at the changes over here. Yep. Value generated on add. Date time offset has key. Okay, I think that'll work, because I think I'm allowed to do a date time offset one, but let's find out. What is it? Update database? Oh, I forgot I'd have to do the project reference. So let's not do this. Let's just run the program, guys. What could go wrong? What could possibly go wrong? There's no way we could break everything by just running the code. Look, we didn't blow up. Oh man, look at that. Look at that. I think it worked. Hang on. So we don't have a way of modifying this yet in here. We'll need to eventually. However, schedule entities. Let's go look at the data. If I were to change one of these, change the value of one of these, Oh my god, this thing in the dark theme. Okay, I'm going to temporarily change the value, and I'm going to call schedule again. I'm not confident it was using my schedule yet. Did I leave the other thing in there still? Let's take a look. Where else could it have gotten these values if not from that? Schedule command. Yep, it's coming out of the database. No, it might have just been cached. Let's go ahead and give it a try. Let's change the date. So we're going to stop the bot. We're going to exit. We're going to bring the bot back in. I just want to make sure that we're not caching anything inside of Entity Framework. Yeah, I know. Black text on black. Like, whoever did this window needs to fix it. The view data thing on here really messed up. Thanks, Microsoft. That was great. How'd you know I wanted black text on a black background? Alright, schedule -4. Did it change the date? Fridays, yep. Okay, cool. So this is coming out of here. Now the question is, are these values actually coming, or is this cached? Yep, that value is getting cached by the database somewhere, so we're going to have to fix that at some point. Because EF is getting us an extra layer of caching there, which isn't a problem necessarily. It's just that could really mess up some of our stuff in some places, because we're doing... Now here's the annoying thing. This is still failing sometimes, even with my retries. I might need to add additional retries in our code. So there is an undocumented call in the Twitch API. There's an undocumented piece of the API for Twitch that we're using to pull the names of all the people that are in chat, and we do that when the bot starts up. And the problem is that fails sometimes. And we even have retry logic. We try 5 times with a half-second interval between each attempt, and it's still on the 6th try will fail sometimes, and then we get that error message. So when the bot fails to start like that, that's what's going on. Schedule -4. Okay, so cool. So what that means is that our schedule's now coming out of the database. So that's really awesome. Add required EF migration. Swifty Spiffy. Yeah, I know, right? Even with 5 retries, we still get the fail sometimes. I don't get it. It's frustrating. Yeah. I don't know. It's annoying. Yeah. Right here, we do 5. We do a retry count of 5. It still fails. It's kind of amazing, actually, that it can fail that many times. So let's go ahead and make a new pull request for this one. Oh, and Swifty Spiffy, just a heads up. At the beginning of the stream, I went to do the TwitchLib upgrade, and we ran into some kind of error. I assume I'm passing the wrong value in somewhere, and I was hoping to catch one of you guys in here, but you weren't here at the beginning of the stream. So if you take a look at the beginning of the video, maybe you'll see what idiotic thing I was doing, and tell me what I could do to get that one to work right. I'm not sure if it's still like that, but the chats were just an IRC channel. You can connect and pull the list from there. Yeah, so yes. They are IRC. We're not currently connected using IRC. But yes, I know that they are, and I know that that's another way to grab that data. Boxy. Okay. That'd be really funny, Swifty Spiffy, if it were like the bug that I was like, you know, if that bug were what I was running into. I don't think it is, but yeah. So I assume, is it Boxy Baby? Maybe. I'm assuming that's how your name's pronounced. And if it's not, tell me how I can pronounce it better, and I will give it a shot. I try not to mess up people's names, but yeah, Boxy, that is a good question, and so we do all of our connection to everything inside of the Twitch API using TwitchLib right now, which not to say that we couldn't write some of our own stuff, but if we wanted to get that working, let's see, just so IRC parser, so this should be in some way connected to that. I don't know. Swifty Spiffy, do you know if there's a way we can pull all the users in chat using the IRC connection through TwitchLib? So Swifty Spiffy there, who's in chat, is actually one of the maintainers of the TwitchLib API that we're using in here. So TwitchLib is just a library for connecting to the Twitch API using C# so that we don't have to maintain all the C# connections ourselves. And if we ever need to, we can hop over in there and make changes as well because it's open source, but not something we're doing at the moment. Okay, so we pull that from data. Next cool thing that we were talking about adding to the schedule command, which we still can do even though we sent in that pull request, because we can still add to it if we like, is on the schedule command we currently require that someone tell us their offset, which most people don't know their offset. Let's see, look up time zone offset, look up time zone by city. API. Current time zone for a city. EarthTools.org provides a free web service to get the time zone from a city. Interesting. No, doesn't work. Google Time Zone API. Interesting, okay. So my only concern with connecting to an API that requires that we have some kind of authentication is that adds an additional step that that someone would need to implement in order to run the bot. So I want to avoid making anyone that would require an extra step for someone that wanted to use the bot. Okay, 8 in FPS. Would a dictionary attack work on a Facebook account? I guess it depends on what you mean there, 8 in FPS. In terms of like someone just trying passwords against your account, most websites, including Facebook, would limit the number of times that passwords could be attempted against that. So as long as no one got access to the hashed passwords from Facebook, it would not really be an issue. But the main concern is if you use a password on Facebook that would be that a dictionary attack could find, then what that would mean is that if someone got access to the hashed passwords that Facebook had, they could use a dictionary attack to get your password. That being said, if you only use it on Facebook, as long as Facebook tells everyone when there's a breach, you would change your password before it was really an issue. The challenge would come in if you use that same password elsewhere, then it's a problem. So I'm fairly certain, now I don't know this for certain because I've never tried to do a dictionary attack on Facebook, but I have a feeling that they limit how many attempts you can make at a password on an account. So I think as long as you're using different passwords on every site, you should not have a problem. Actually, Mnemotic, it shouldn't matter. Like, even if they salt it, you'd still be subject to a dictionary attack. So there are other things that would get around. Oh, you want to attack? Yeah, no, yeah, well, yeah, I wouldn't attack Facebook. That's not a good idea. And Aaron in Cincy, hey, you're on the other side of the state. At least I assume that Cincy means Cincinnati. If you have the hashes, there's a very good chance you'd have the salts as well. Exactly. Yes, so that's the idea. If you were able to get the hashes, you probably have the salts, which means that a dictionary attack, like any kind of attempt to crack the password, is going to come up again. The salt prevents it from just, like, makes it so you have to attack and you can't just tell that it's the same passwords, for example, within the database. So if they're duplicates, things like that. So cool. Yeah. Hey, I'm from the northeastern part of the state. So welcome, Aaron. So was it an issue with the Chatter's endpoint? Swifty Spiffy, we were getting an error on that, but I think the credentials might have been an issue, so I'm not sure if something about credentials or settings changed. So, no, so Aiden, the problem is that, so here's the challenge. If you actually were attacking a site, itself, the problem is that most good sites are going to restrict the number of times that you can make an attempt at a password, and because of that, you won't be able to really do an attack against that account. Now, like a small site may not have that kind of protection. If someone wrote their own, like homebrew, login system, they might not have written it. So that's one of the reasons why I warn developers not to write your own security systems in your software, because you will mess something up. Like, you're gonna forget something. There's a reason that that you want to use authentication systems that were built by someone else. So that's why there's always a new one in .NET, and you want to use whatever the latest one is, and they're very good systems. That's not to say that they're perfect, but it's much better than what you would make, because you're going to forget something like restricting the number of times that someone can do that. And then the next problem is that really the issue is not someone hacking an account directly. The way someone's going to get an account is they're going to do some kind of a social engineering attack to get it. And then the other problem is, so that's the one way that they're probably going to get into an account, and thank you for following, Aiden. But the next problem that you'd run into is when they get the set of hashed passwords, they're going to get the salts also, like basically every time that happens. And so what that means is they're going to be able to make attempts against those passwords locally. So it doesn't matter what kind of password you've got. Even if you have a really good password, someone's eventually going to be able to crack it, and then it's going to end up in a list on the internet. Once that's in a list on the internet, congratulations, any other website that you use that on is in danger, because someone could just do that. So, yes, as Mnemonic says, security is hard. So, I admit I've found plenty of vulnerabilities and been able to, hack into a lot of different sites on, like, that, for businesses that I've had as clients, customers, things like that. I'm an independent consultant, by the way, and I've had a number of things where I'm like, oh yeah, you have the security issue, and I'd be like, look, I can get admin access in your system by doing blah blah blah. So that is a great question, Swifty Spiffy, that I will talk with you about later, probably. because I don't want to toss the no peeking screen up and go look. So, yeah, so what I would say is that even so, like every time we say, yeah, this type of like XYZ password, you know, this length, this complexity, this blah 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 is awesome. Look how long you can keep it. And the problem is that computers are always getting better, so anything that's secure now isn't going to be secure later. So that's why we always have to be upgrading and improving. And one of the best suggestions I can make for anybody is make sure that you are using different passwords on all different sites. And I recommend using some kind of a password manager. Let's see. Boxy Baby. Well, they could also add a private string to the salt, which isn't saved in the database, but on the server instead. That way it can't be brute forced. Yeah, so Boxy Baby is talking about a very good thing, which is that if they actually keep the salt and the hashed password separate, it makes it much harder. It technically can be brute forced, but you'd have to brute force with a salt, so it'd be really hard to brute force those at that point. Yeah, so, and Swifty Spiffy, which, Twitch token generator. Let me click this. Oh, yes. I think that's the site I used, Swifty Spiffy. I believe I did use your site to do this. And yeah, sorry, Aiden, you're not going to be Mr. Robot. In fact, I'd recommend against it. It's probably a bad idea. Don't reuse password. Exactly, Mnemotic. And so that's actually one of the things that bugs me when a site I don't care about has like some serious password requirements, because I'm kind of like, I want to give you a password that I don't care about, and I don't care if you lose because I don't care about your site. And so they have these hefty restrictions, and I'm like, well, now I have to throw it in a password manager so I don't have to remember this thing. Whereas like I wanted to give you some worthless password that, that I don't mind reusing, and is basically like, yeah, if you want to steal this account, you can steal this account, I don't care. So yes, there are some sites where I use worthless passwords that are repeats because I don't care if someone gets into the site because I'm not using it for anything. There's no content to display anywhere, and it's basically just they gave me a barrier to associate with my account. So I consider most of my accounts useless, can't really rely on them much, but even with Assault you can take a known password and then, yes, exactly, Munzie, you can brute force salts out of those, but if there's an individual salt per account, it doesn't always work that well. It's just, you'd be brute forcing the salt on known ones, so you'd have to do it from a password list. So if someone's not reusing their password, that doesn't work. Yes. Yeah, so FPS, yeah, if you're using your password, that just means that anytime there's any kind of a leak, you need to change your passwords everywhere. Yeah, I don't think it is either, Swifty Spiffy. I think most likely that's going to be a different thing. Nah, salts are still in the database. Hashing would be like hash salt, primary key, random salt will be resolved. Yeah. Yes, Aaron and Cincy is correct. There's a website that's maintained by Troy Hunt that's Have I Been Pwned, and if you use your same password in a lot of places, you're going to probably want to check Have I Been Pwned, because if your username and password is in there, then that means that it has been leaked somewhere and everybody can get it. So I am going to merge this schedule change, so we're going to go ahead and do that. So the schedule command is now in there, and other people can now use the schedule command in a different way than I do. We don't yet have the lookup, the time zone offset by name. No, Aiden, we're not kidding. There really is a website called Have I Been Pwned. For anybody that doesn't know, this website here, you can put in your email address, and it will tell you if you've been pwned. So, I Hang on while I check my password, see if it's in here. Oh no! Oh man, my password has been in here 106,000 times already. You'll never guess what my password is. I just generate random strings and have them text documents for most sites. Oh, yeah, you could do that. Yeah, if you don't care about the site, you could just put it in there. No, Aiden, I actually did password 123. Yeah, so if you want to see how frequently... Oh, yeah, see, 20 million times this password has been in here. So the problem is some of those stupid easy passwords don't actually end up in this list because so many websites have complexity requirements that make it so you can't even get them in here. Let's see. What would be a good password? So, hang on, guys. I got it. Hang on. There's no way this one's in here. I spelled password in leet speak, so it definitely won't be in here. Oh, dang it. It's in here. See, even if I'm spelling password. So. Oh, okay. Well, that's cool. I mean, the scary thing is that it does mean that you tossed you typed your username and password into a random site on the internet. There's a lot of trust there. Oh yeah, correct horse battery staple. Oh, the is this? I forget whose example was that. XKCD's example. Have I been pwned? Let's check this again with a password search of. Yeah, it was an XKCD comic. This password has been seen one time before. It's in there. There you go. Hang on. Hey! I mashed on my keyboard a whole bunch and it's not in there. Awesome. Good. Disagree about the viability of brute forcing. Most systems with a clue will use a key derivation function that stretches the password. That plus hashing with salt makes the probability of finding a collision infinitesimal. Well, I mean, so I admit I'm not an expert on cracking passwords there, Mnemotic, and getting them, but security people that I talk to do say that that it is actually much easier than a lot of us think. Well, if you're new to programming, welcome. Either way, let me check our uptime. I think we've been going for a little over 3 hours, so yeah, a little over 3 hours. So, hope you guys don't mind, but I am going to, roughly speaking, call it here. I want to run through a couple of things. I want to mention to you guys that all the code that we write here on stream is out on GitHub, so you can check it out there. Another thing I do want to mention, anybody that is in here, and Mimiron, your timing is terrible because I'm just about to leave, but I did want to say to everybody before you do leave, that if you did enjoy any of the stream today, to make sure that you click that follow button so that you get notified the next time we go live. So if you want to actually watch these streams on a regular basis, check out what we're doing. We're going to be pair programming on Monday, and our next stream is actually on Saturday. So 2 days from now, Saturday, we're going to have an awesome stream on the weekend. And then we're going to stream again on Monday. On Monday, it's a pair programming session we're going to do with James Chambers. So hopefully you guys are all ready to see some awesome code. We're going to bring James in. We're going to work on some code together. So he's going to be way up there in that corner up there in the screen. And he and I are going to work on some code together. And then actually next week, we're going to have a second pair programming stream on Thursday. So if you do want to check out any of our, if you want to check out our schedule and know what is coming up, I do usually update this page. This has our schedule info, and I usually update it once we know. So James Chambers, we weren't actually sure until right beforehand that he was going to move this, so I'm going to move his pair programming to Monday. So it was supposed to be today, so I apologize for anybody that was expecting pair programming today. That will be on Monday. But as I said, you can check out all of our stuff. It is all out on GitHub. Everything about the stream is there. And then additionally, if you want to keep chatting with the rest of us, there are a bunch of us that are in our Discord, And most of these are the people that do the contributions to the project, want to talk about code, want to discuss different things related to what we're doing here on the channel. Discord is a chat application commonly used for gaming, and it's used by a lot of Twitch streams. So we have one. Our Discord is fairly active, so if you want to hop over there and talk with us about code when we're not streaming, that is the place to do it. Also, TwitchLoft, thank you for the 100 bits. Much appreciated as always. I am glad you enjoyed the stream. Hopefully everybody else enjoyed the stream also. As I said, if you are in here and you haven't clicked the follow button, make sure you do that, as that is the best way to catch our next one. And did I forget anything else? Oh, if you want to see some of our earlier videos to see how we got started in some of these projects, because a lot of what we do is iterative development, so we don't start with the overall design, the overall architecture we're going for. We start with a simpler set, and then we slowly move to it over time. So at any point, the project could be, you know, like, oh yeah, this works for the size it is and the, you know, the maturity of the program. Like, you don't need to start off with the, you know, best, most efficient design for your problem space. So take a look at our old videos on YouTube. We keep an archive there. Roughly speaking, as they expire from Twitch, they're going up on YouTube. I'm probably going to speed that up so that YouTube catches up to Twitch. But I most of the time I'd rather people watch the videos here on Twitch, because you get better chat support. So when you watch a video on Twitch, it actually does have the chat along the side, so you can see what was being said and what was going on, especially in the older videos. It's very nice to know what the conversation was. And then other than that, I wanted to thank everybody for showing up. Thanks everybody who followed. I wanted to thank PritchettBots and C# Fritz for hosting us. As I said, thank you TwitchLoft for the bits. And I will see everybody on Saturday. So hopefully you're all ready for some code. Saturday might end up being another one of our game tracker streams, because I do want to get that into a good place. So that means we'll be doing some ASP.NET Core code, and we'll probably do some front-end stuff in JavaScript as well. So C#, JavaScript, .NET Core, ASP.NET Core. We're going to do a little bit of code with a, so we're going to add a controller, probably a Web API controller to our ASP.NET Core application, so that we can handle our tracking of game records. So we're going to call that from JavaScript and get that all working. Once those pieces are wired up, we should basically be ready to invite Guy Royce onto the stream. And Guy works at a company that is, they make an API for machine learning. And so essentially what we're going to do is we're going to try to leverage that to teach our program to make recommendations for future games to play. So you'll rate existing games, we'll pull some data off some websites on the internet, we'll just harvest a bunch of data, we'll use that to make recommendations for other games you might be interested in. So I think it's going to be a good time, and we're going to get to that as soon as we can get the game tracker program to a point where we want to bring Guy on, and I think that will be good. So hopefully you all had a fantastic Thursday, and I will see you all on Saturday. Take care.